Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm by myself. What the fuck was that?
F-16.
Okay.
Oh, that was
freedom.
That was out in Arizona?
Or maybe F-22. I'm not sure. The rumble's a little different on the
Or
22.
SKS.
That's a gun.
Oh, I know. Okay.
So for everybody watching, Tony and Cherie live in the flight path for Luke Air Force Base.
Yes. We will hear that all night tonight.
No, it usually ends.
That's a sound
It usually ends at midnight.
No, I think they don't land any later than 9. Right?
Yeah, it's never that late.
Yeah. It's always a batch of 3 airplanes.
It's always 3. Well, it was worse at the other house than it is
Yeah.
here. We get them once in a while here, but not like we used to.
What's the difference? We moved like 3 miles or 4 miles away from the old house.
Yeah, but the flight path is still the same angle.
All right, it's Monday. Hello, guys. Cherie over here. Take it away, baby.
We're doing name introductions?
Yes.
All right. I'm, who am I?
Idiot.
I'm Idiot.
Oh, then allow me to go second. I'm idiot number 2.
I guess I'm number 3.
3 idiots and Cherie.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, guys, Miss Lourdes and Miss Audra are not feeling well.
Yeah.
So they will not be joining us tonight.
Yeah. Apparently, nor was our network. I was trying to share it from the UNX page so people on my page would know that we were live, and I don't know where to share it from.
So that allows me to say this announcement. And I apologize for anybody that can't watch us on Facebook, but literally as we went live, it even kicked it off of mine.
Yeah, it's not live on mine. Oh,
It is.
It is live on mine.
It stayed on Tony's. Can you share it?
Oh,
No, there's no share button.
There's no.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why is
So-
that?
Why is Tony being selfish about his own show?
No. So for everybody watching Facebook,
I can't share it. I
Yeah.
can't share it.
Facebook used to let us do it to private Facebook pages. It used to let us do it to group Facebook pages. And then they put restrictions on it, and it only allowed us to share it to like UNX Facebook page and our personal pages. Well, something's going on because now the UNX page won't even allow it to share. It's something to do with the AI and the Facebook page. And right as we went live tonight, it kicked it from my personal page too. So it is live on Facebook to Tony's page, but Tony can't share it to like Entity Voices, Southern Entities, the Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Unification page that we always share it to. So the announcement is we will post the promos to all of our Facebook pages starting next week, but you will only be able to watch us live on YouTube, UNX YouTube or EVPI YouTube. We are no longer going to be on Facebook.
So we're gonna be on YouTube, okay?
The promo and the link to the YouTube live will be on Facebook, but if you click on it, it'll automatically take you to YouTube. So make sure you create a profile if you don't have a profile on YouTube yet, so we know who we're talking to.
Good point.
Yeah.
And that's good for us too, because then we can say whatever we want and we don't get booted. So
Vinnie.
not the way we plan on starting the show, but thanks to that wonderful platform that we all love so much, we will no longer be on that one anymore.
Oh, and just for the record, I was watching a show from a couple weeks ago. And yes, I have like 4 of these.
4 hats.
Yeah, because somebody said, I don't know if he wears the same hat every day or if he's got multi. I'm like, I have lots.
That was me.
That was him.
That was that old clip from when I was doing the promos.
Oh, okay.
Huh. You only have stay haunted hat.
I only have one of those, yes. But I've got like
Hint,
4
hint.
of these.
Chris, hint, hint.
No,
He's got one. Ron needs one, but he never wear hats.
Yeah, I don't wear hats a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, we can have it.
we'll let that slide. Why is
And
your
before everybody in the chat starts going, Chris, send me one for $49.95
plus shipping?
plus shipping and tax. Just kidding.
Facebook hates Staticom. Geo, yeah. It's odd because I remember seeing Bobby Gallo posting something about Facebook didn't want YouTube hosted stuff on Facebook. Like they were drawing a line between YouTube and Facebook. And now, Facebook's forcing us to only be able to show it on YouTube.
Right.
That never stopped me before, Gio.
Oh, I
They don't want our
found
faces
out.
on
The
Facebook?
real name of Geo is George.
You know, I'm going to say it. The way Facebook is treating its members and its profiles and everybody on it, I don't think Facebook wants people on Facebook.
Facebook's not going to survive too much longer if they continue this. People are irritated at everything. The fact checkers, the restrictions, the getting thrown in Facebook jail for something you posted 3-4 years ago. It's ridiculous.
What's shocking is some of the people that got banned for posting stuff they posted 3-4 years ago weren't half as bad as some of the shit I was posting currently. So I don't understand why they got banned and I didn't.
What's up, Raul?
Consider yourself lucky, Chris.
But anyway, we will provide promos and we will provide updates to our Facebook pages so you guys can see where to find us because we'll still be here on Mondays. But we will no longer be live on Facebook, it appears. Well, no, we will no longer be live on Facebook. It'll be live on YouTube.
There's a message from our guests.
Look at that. We cannot wait. So excited and a little nervous. So you know what? Let's make them even more nervous. Maybe we could get them to EVP themselves. So I want to pull up. Give me a second.
Take your time.
Well, I wasn't prepared because YouTube kicked me off everything. I was prepared till it kicked me.
It does seem like people who are chiming in here, it's all YouTube, which is good since it seems to be the only option.
By the comments, every single one is YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
I hope
All right,
it's
here we go.
okay for Geo.
So tonight we have a couple very special guests. It's their first time on EVPE, but it's not their first time in the chat. One of these guests that you'll see tonight is usually in the chat 3 to 4 days before everybody else.
Yeah, in a tent camped out like Thursday before Black Friday.
Yeah, I'll see messages from them that said EVPE starts in 3.5 days, 23 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, this gentleman reminds me of the people that used to camp out on the sidewalk out in front of Ticketmaster for Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses tickets. So for everybody that hasn't figured it out yet, the people we have on tonight are Rodger Martens Jr. and Karen, I hope I say this right, Pio?
Pio? Peo?
I thought Peo.
Peo?
Of AZPIRS. It's a mouthful. I'm not going to say it. I'll let them do it.
As
Rodger's originally from Florida. He's never experienced anything paranormal, but he really is into the tools. And Karen from Alaska, who now lives in Arizona. Talk about getting de-thawed quickly.
Right? Wow.
So they both investigate with the Arizona Paranormal Investigations and Research Society. Let's say hello to Karen and Rodger.
What's
Hey,
up?
guys.
Hey, friends.
How's it going?
Going well.
Good.
Going well.
Really good.
I see
Sorry, I
you
wasn't-
guys
I
asking
can
me.
almost reach that popcorn.
That's why we said it.
I gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
There are.
It would have been cool, Tony, if you'd have had a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah,
and
right.
Karen lifted that up.
If I could have just reached in and then come back with a handful, that would have been cool.
Hi, Gio.
All right, so Karen, we're gonna start with you because ladies first. No offense, Rodger. Tell us what got you into the paranormal. What got you hooked?
I guess seeing my grandfather who passed away walk across the hallway after he passed away. That was the first thing. And I grew up in a very religious household, so kind of put it on the back burner all those years because, you know, when you grow up Catholic, they tell you it's a sin and all that other stuff. And as I became an adult, I said, screw it. And now I'm here.
It always starts with the screw it.
Yeah.
Or your favorite word, Chris.
The fuck it? Is that what you're looking for? We're just on YouTube tonight, y'all. I can let it ring. Just there we go. I've seen some of the stuff they put on YouTube. My stuff is mild. All right, your turn, Rodger. What got you hooked?
Started watching the paranormal shows with some friends, and then I wasn't really into like the evidence. I mean, it was cool if they caught something, but I was more in like the technical stuff. So the spirit box, the REM pod, going up to the SLS, and then finally I was like, you know what? I just need to start buying my own. So start off with an EMF detector and a digital voice recorder and a camera.
Awesome.
And away we go.
So I've noticed something about you too. Before we went live, you guys were relaxed. You were having fun. The minute we go live, you guys are. So guess what?
No.
It's still the same people in front of you that was in front of you before we went live. There's just more people.
But now the chat's there.
Yeah, but they all know you because
They
you
all
have
know
the
you
longest
guys.
residency in the chat.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
they
so
can
really,
see
we're
you.
just two dorks who really like the paranormal, and we'll try to relax throughout the show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you guys be yourselves, be fun. We appreciate you're here because you guys are in the field and you do good work, and you're here because we've grown to love you guys, and you've been supporting us for a long time, and we're trying to give back to the community, and nobody's more deserving that we've had on than you two. Not to mention that if you want to see more of Rodger, you can check out Knowingly Talking to the Unknown on Paraflix. He did do an excellent testimonial for the docuseries. It was really good.
Thank you.
Good. That is very true.
What's up, Anthony? And
So and here's something that Karen's not telling you that she reveals in the chat, but she didn't reveal on the show.
'Cause
Karen
I
has
know.
abilities, she just won't admit it.
Yes,
Yes, she
she
does.
does. She does.
So tell us about your abilities, Karen. Don't hide anything.
All right.
Nobody's gonna make fun of you here about your abilities.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna roll eyes on you, Karen.
No, so I figured out in this process, I started with Vinnie and AZPIRS in 2017, like I said in my intro. Vinnie has taught me a lot. He is the best. And I just, every time I went on an investigation, I got to know myself a little bit more. And all the things that I could do when I was little, I thought everybody could do those things. I thought everybody knew those things, saw those things, heard those things, dreamt those things. I had no idea that that wasn't the norm. So I learned that. And now as an investigator, I can actually channel the dead and sort of get pictures and get a story of their life. And it's actually been evidence-based. I'm not just pulling things out of my ass. I can say that because we're on YouTube.
You can say it, just don't do it.
Yeah. So no, I've actually done some readings and whatnot where I've given very accurate information. Murders, suicides, just dead people in general. And I like the dead people better than I like the alive people most of the time.
Show your shirt.
Oh yeah. Someday we'll all be dead. And we will.
I love how that's a dark message with a big happy smiling sun going.
Yeah.
That's kind of
You get away with everything with juxtaposition. You get away with anything.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, no one's getting out alive. It's kind of a
No.
given.
None of us are.
Yes, and you can't successfully pass on to the higher realms until you've learned how to clearly utter the word Rathman, because it's required when you get there.
Right.
It is required.
Come through and say that. It's very important. You know what's
that's very true, Ron. Thank you for bringing that up. But I'm hoping that word may come up tonight. Maybe. You never know. We'll see.
Maybe.
Oh, I got a feeling.
Possibly.
I got a
Here's
feeling.
the problem. Remember how Houdini had his code word? And people say, I'm going to give you a code word. Don't anybody pick Rathman, because we'll never know who the hell you are.
That's true, yeah. It's like Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Rathman. So, Karen, do you find now, because you mentioned something that I think is a mentality that's probably doesn't have the longest shelf life. Now you're involved. You know more people in the field. You see a lot more of what's going on in the landscape. Do you not think perhaps that it almost seems less normal to not be able to do some of the things you can do, knowing that you're not some weird person that does this thing that nobody else does?
It's not that nobody else does it. There's tons of people who do this.
Right.
And I've met tons of them. We all do it in a different way.
That's
I know
my
that
point.
sounds funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to kind of leave it up for interpretation of your own personal self, what you get and how you get that information and how it relates to others and whatnot. I'll get like pictures in my head that tell a story. So, and not everybody's that way, but now that I've done this, there are so many people just like me, and it makes me feel not crazy. So that's amazing.
Yes, exactly what I was asking too. I think you start finding that what we call the paranormal seems like it's a lot more prevalent than not.
It is.
Right. Or we're all stuck in that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. What was that? Skeleton Island, or what was that called? Skeleton
Titanic?
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. Yeah.
Shutter Island.
Wrong one.
Maybe we're all crazy and we're in Trans-Allegheny. We just don't know it.
Gangs in New York.
Chris can do the same thing as me. We actually went over evidence. Well, we sent him evidence about something that we did. And Chris was actually picking up on the same things that I had picked up. So there are many of us, which makes me feel good because I like to know that.
and what it's amazing too, and what Karen's not telling you, is when being live in the location and picking up something and then doing a remote read from an evidence that they caught and knowing that I was clicking with what Karen was picking up while she was in the location, that right there makes you feel a little crazy at the same time too. Because when you're confirming off of something that's been recorded to stuff that she was catching during the live, and we're both connected like this and getting the same stuff, it was a pretty cool experience. I love it when people do that.
Yeah.
Todd and Carmela, yes, my daughters do. I don't know about, I don't think it was embraced in my family, although I do believe that other people had those abilities. But like I said, we grew up Catholic, and it was kind of like, whoa, the devil is in you. And so, I don't think that they embraced it, but there are definitely family members who embrace the paranormal and other things that are sort of different. So I think it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Way awesome. And Rodger, do you feel some of the stuff when you're out investigating with Karen?
So we kind of bounce stuff off back and forth with each other. She's actually been testing me, I guess, or training or
mentoring.
There we go.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It makes my head hurt sometimes, but yeah, for sure. Actually, Sam, who's in the chat, Sam Fellows, we did something at the jail recently, and we were up on the second floor, and I walked into a spot, and I was like, what is that? So I came back downstairs, grabbed Sam, didn't tell her anything. I just said, go in there and just tell me whatever is going on or whatever. And like, she couldn't even go past the same spot that I went to. So then we went back downstairs and grabbed Pan, Vinnie's wife. Hi, Pam, if you're watching. Took her up there, and the exact same all three of us.
That's awesome.
Wow.
It is awesome. Very awesome. You guys have some pretty cool evidence. Why don't we show some of it? Let's start with the pictures that Karen sent, and I love pictures. I'm going to share screen because that way we can manipulate the pictures. Because you can't.
As in zoom in, right?
Yes.
Not draw circles and arrows.
No, I won't do that. All right, so this is evidently taken in Jerome.
Yes.
And let me guess, you were standing in the parking lot adjacent to the old jail.
Yes.
Good eye, Chris.
Yes.
Very good. You
I
remember.
know my haunted towns in Arizona, y'all.
Isn't that lit up building right above your pointer?
Right
Isn't
here.
that the Jerome Grand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. This is downtown. This is the backside of downtown. And that's the Jerome Grand Hotel, if y'all have ever heard of it, right up there in the corner.
Wow. Aren't those clouds in the sky? I wanted to contribute somehow. That's all I know.
You're correct, Ron. Those are clouds.
Yeah.
So this is a big J. The reason you guys see this is the old mining towns, for some reason, that a lot of people don't know this. The townsfolk don't do this. The kids from the high school do these. They go up and they place these big rocks and they paint them with the first letter. Miami Globe or Miami or EVPI has the same thing. I think Miami does too, doesn't it? Miami Globe has the same thing.
Globe does.
Yeah.
Superior. They have that one pointing to Phoenix.
Yeah. Aho does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yuma. It's the foothills, though. I think they do.
Bisbee does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bisbee.
And ironically enough, it's done by the kids in the high schools every year. They go up and repaint it up and make sure that you can see it.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching, there's no building over here.
No.
And no electric.
Arizona has what's called Save the Skyline or some rules named similar to that.
Yeah.
And basically, if you're building on a mountain, there's a level that you're not allowed to go over. And that's the level right there.
And there's no power line to
So
There's nothing above that.
this highest building you see here is about as high as they're allowed to go.
Yep.
So this is pretty damn close to where you're standing. If you look really close at it, that's not off in the distance. That's right in front of you. And for everybody watching from the East Coast, let me tell you this. Arizona doesn't have lightning bugs.
I knew that.
There's no fireflies in Arizona. So tell us what you were doing when you took this picture, Karen, besides looking up at the mountain.
Well, funny enough, we were actually on a ghost tour. So we went to stay at the hotel. This is before I started investigating with Pam and Vinnie, and went on a tour with my friends and a guy named Jason, who was really cool, took us around the town and showed us all around. And as Chris said, this used to be the jail. It is now a basketball court, volleyball, whatever, a bunch of nets. But yeah, it was odd. Like, what is that? There's no power line. There's nothing there that would produce that green line. So it intrigued me.
Yeah, to Chris's statement before, because I'm trying to see how to determine depth, but it is either very close to you or closer to you, or it's extremely large if it's not.
We were about, I would say, maybe 10 feet away.
So did you see this with your own eyes too?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to is the green band of light. It's either immense because it's not close to you, or it's close to you, and then through depth perception, it seems like it's, it may be bigger, but it's so dark, it's difficult to determine how far away from the camera that might be.
Absolutely correct.
Well, and to give you guys a heads up too, there's nothing reflective in the
Right.
landscape, especially in the Arizona desert, especially up in Jerome. There's nothing reflective here. Now up the road this way, you go back a little way, there's an old silver ore. I don't know if they ever got copper out of Jerome or not. back here in the corner.
Yeah, they did get copper as well.
Did they?
Chris.
Yeah.
The other really strange things about it, and I just saw, I think Todd say it, but there are dots within that line as well, circles.
Right.
Which the only thing I've seen like that circular formation show up on, but this camera is not a night vision camera. That's a full color visible light camera.
You can see the gentleman's shirt down here in the corner.
Correct. And you can see the color of the different lights up on the hillside. But I have seen dots like that show up on spider webs, but it would not show up green unless it was using an infrared camera with infrared light. So
Great point.
I honestly don't know what that is.
And there's no flash on the camera on this one, right?
No, there's
Well-
not, because you'd see it. Right, Karen?
Well, what
Correct.
about the dude in the corner?
Yep. See,
Well,
there's-
we can also talk about. I don't know if you have the enhanced version. Tony and I went. Okay.
Check neon plasma. Possibility.
So
there's
that's
the
interesting.
contrasted version of it.
So that's interesting because now what appears is a similar colored light that is very close
Right
and in
in
a
front of
trajectory towards the camera.
Yeah.
So let me give you guys a little bit of history about Jerome
Gotcha.
that a lot of people don't know. Is Jerome was an old mining town, and Jerome was actually labeled the most dangerous town in Arizona because they had more killings here in the bars than they did in any other town in the old West. You know, you get the movie Tombstone, right? Everybody thinks Tombstone was the worst town in Arizona. No. This town right here
Rome
was
yeah.
the nastiest town in Arizona because it was hidden way up in the mountains. There was a very small police force. Miners would come into town every night after being in the mines all night long or all day long, and they would drink it up. And then you had cowboys in here. And what people don't know is in the late 1800s, some thieves, this was the home of all the thieves and robbers. This was their hideout. They dug a tunnel out of one of the mining tunnels up underneath the bank. And they put a bunch of dynamite in there. And the plan was to blow out the bottom of the bank to get the money. What they did was they caused a chain reaction in the mine and caused a bunch of mines to collapse. And they killed, like, I can't remember the number, guys. I don't want to misquote it. They killed a ton of miners, which died in what used to be an old hospital, the Jerome Old Hospital. Most of those miners died being transported here or in the mine. And what that explosion did is it caused the town to start to shift. So the original jail that is right over here is just a shell of a building. It has moved approximately 6 to 7 feet since that explosion downhill. The whole town is shifting downhill caused by that explosion in the late 1800s.
Interesting insight by Mr. Simonelli.
Yeah, and that is a possibility as well. But I'm wondering where the light and the color of the light is coming from.
Well,
This one's
here in my
enhanced. This
Yes,
is
here.
enhanced, right, Roger?
This is this is the negative. So if you contrasted it negative, this is the original picture right here. Herein lies the problem with that theory. There's no flash.
Right.
So there's no light source to reflect off of any insects flying by that would cause this.
Correct.
That's true. So because you can faintly see now where that green bar of light appeared in the middle when you went to the other version of the photo. And that's the thing that's confusing it a little bit for me, at least, is that I'm looking at that. Now that beam of light is pretty evenly, like those lines are drawn pretty straight, right? So I don't know where the source is from that, if it's originating above or below the frame, but it wasn't in the other one. So when you lighten the picture and enhance contrast, now you have an extra bar of light that matches the color scheme pretty much. It's a little more diffuse.
It's actually there in the first one. It's just faint.
That's what I'm saying. Yep. I didn't see it until I had seen the second one. So then I'm wondering if there's any connection between those two things also.
Yeah, the only problem with that, and I agree with you, that, are we talking some sort of lens refraction, reflection, any type of that order, is that the angle of that beam, even if it's striking the lens of the camera, would produce a similar angle or a reverse angle depending on how it hit the lens. Right. So if you go back to the other photo, there is no similar angle forward or reverse shown.
Yeah, and just to be, I agree with you 100%. I'm just taking stabs in the dark here, but just to make what I was questioning clear, I'm not trying to draw causality from one of those green things to the other. I'm saying perhaps the cause for both is a shared thing.
I think this is UFO. What do you guys think?
You know what? It's funny you say that because Ajo, Bisbee, Tombstone, Jerome has also been known for UFO sightings too. Mm-hmm. Miami Globe has been known for UFO sightings. What are the similarities between those?
I want to point out that Ajo, Bisbee, Tombstone, and Jerome sounds like a boy band from the 80s. Move on. Yeah, that's really hard. Like I'm spitballing stuff just to try to figure out. I'm not a photo expert by any means. I'm just trying to draw a parallel with just a certain tonality in the color between those things. But I can't correlate them as relational, like one causing the other. I agree with what Tony said. They're just separate. Right.
But if you want to go down the ufology type of theory on this one, these are all mining towns, all copper, all mining ore, all silver towns. Every single one of those I just mentioned are silver, copper, and ore towns. They're all mining towns, which are all natural elements, which are very relatable to ufology. So could these be paranormal? Yes. Could they also be tied to ufology? It's a very good possibility.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we're looking at is anomalous because clearly we can't figure it out. Right. It's not something to be easily dismissed or debunked. I hesitate or pause to jump to anything, otherworldly and stuff. Ufology, just because there's a lot of gaps in the explanation between what we're looking at and that. Not that it can't be it, but there's a lot of space between the two to fill in.
Yeah,
correct. It's also a fragment of less than a second in time.
Right.
A second, maybe snapshot. So it does. That's what makes pictures when they're anomalous like this very difficult to discern. What
we can eliminate is it's not a lens flare caused by a flash because a flash wasn't used.
Right.
It's not lens refraction because none of the lights up on the hill are green, and there's no green lights in this area at all. Right?
Yeah.
And you can't.
It's the Green Lantern. It's the Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's the Green Lantern.
He goes to Jerome all the time.
He came back to Jerome because the movie sucked so bad he had to make up for it.
Gio sent us the neon plasma.
Yeah,
which is so cool.
It's an artwork, but the similarities between neon plasma and that green are strikingly similar.
Yeah, and to add to Chris's pretty thorough analysis of the photo list, add to that whatever this is, it was only something that the lens and the camera was able to capture. They didn't see it
right
at the moment.
Well, and you can also eliminate the fact that the camera moved too, because there's no motion blurring in this at all. Because you see the gentleman's down in here; he's perfectly clear.
Yeah. Right. You see it in the lights as well.
Yeah, there's no blur from the lights. Well, the J is perfectly clear, and the lights that are on it are too. I mean, there's no motion to this picture at all. Karen, nice job. You were perfectly still when you snapped this photo.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can see that. Anthony's another good question too. Was there any light behind the camera?
No. It was completely pitch black outside.
Yeah. I can tell you, I know exactly where Karen was standing. There's no light source behind that.
No.
All the light sources behind where she's standing is down the hill at least 2,000 feet because right behind her is the edge of the mountain and it goes down like this. And there's some houses down in the valley below.
Yeah.
But those houses do not reflect light up that high. No way in hell.
Yeah.
My vote is that it's anomalous. I agree with Tony and classifying it.
Yep.
that's my well of wisdom runs dry on that because after that, I don't have anything else to offer. I'm not sure. I know that it's something anomalous in that photo, and I don't know if there's something, from a physics standpoint or that explains it, but I can't come up with anything.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Ron. I can't tell you what it is, and I don't know how it occurred.
No.
Nice capture.
That's why we're here.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and to add to that just a little bit, and then we'll go to the next picture, is you can even eliminate any gas escaping from the ground from the mines underneath because they've been inactive for so long. There
Right.
wouldn't be any gases left underground at this point.
No, it's been, man, I don't even know how long it's been.
It's been
75 years?
Like that.
Yeah, at least 75, 80 years before they've touched that mine.
Yeah,
Or even gone that deep with it, you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good picture.
Yeah,
If
it's
anybody
great,
ever gets- it's a great
great
picture.
chapter.
Yeah. Anybody ever gets out to Arizona, Jerome is a fantastic.
You guys should visit it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, too.
Yeah,
It is.
great history.
All right, let's go to the next one. You know what? We got to get this one out of the way first because everybody can see it already.
Oh yeah,
This is one undeniable evidence provided by Karen. Nobody can dispute this at all. I don't care what
That's
you
the
say.
best evidence.
And what I like about this one is it's not blurred.
Yeah.
The camera's not being shaken. You can clearly see every detail of it. Nice capture, guys.
And you can see it starting to form too because it's looking at you.
Yeah.
it's a cryptid. I think that's called the Cloth Man.
Jeez,
I believe his first name is Terry.
that was a bad joke from hell.
Tony's stealing my stuff.
That's funny.
All right, tell us about this one, Karen.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this is at a bar in Prescott, Arizona.
Whiskey Row?
Yes, it's on Whiskey Row, which, if you're not familiar with Whiskey Row in Prescott, Arizona, it actually burnt down.
Jeez.
I think it was like 1900. It burned down, and they
Half of
rebuilt.
Whiskey
And
Row
there's like,
burned down.
I'm sorry.
I just said half of Whiskey Row burnt down.
Yeah, and when they reopened, when they rebuilt, like it was just all bars. Like there were over 40 bars back in the day that they did. But you're gonna see. So you'll see 3 different versions of this photo, and in that top right-hand corner, you'll see what looks like a window. That is not a window. That is actually the shadow of the window that is across from it. Yeah. And then I took more photos.
Oh, I believe you caught more than just that corner, Karen.
Yes, but you can't see that yet.
Oops, damn it. That's the one I just had. Hang on. There you go.
There you go.
So this is the photo immediately following. I always take photos in succession. And you'll notice in the top right-hand corner where the window was that there is no longer a window, and you can all tell me what you think of that. And as I was looking at that, I looked down a little further and was wondering why it was sort of blurry where the light is, because the top of the photo is not blurry, but the bottom of the photo. And then I saw the rim of a hat. And I was like, what's that? So when you see the enhanced version, you'll get to see, and Tony was really good about this. I thought it was a cowboy. Tony realized it was probably a firefighter. And in the next photo, you can see that.
You have got more than that in this photo, and I'll show you when you get to the
Tell
end.
me, because
Do you see the cowboy hat here?
Yeah.
Then you've got the brim of a hat here. What's interesting is you look at this machine here, you can almost read the dials on this machine.
It's clear.
Right? You go up to the Bud Light sign. Bud Light is perfectly clear. It's not moving at all. The Hampstead sign that's old and worn is not moving at all. You can see the vents. You can see the lines of the vents here perfectly not moving at all. You can see the trim not moving at all. You can see the old detail in the old trim that's above the bar. And then you get down here and something's distorting that mirror. But if you look really close, you see the brim of a hat?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Do you see the jacket?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Now, let me pull this out. Close it. None of that's there. See,
Right.
there's no hat here. You don't see a jacket here. The Bud Light sign is clear. Everything's back to normal. That vent is clear like the second one. That trim is clear like the second one. You can see the dial. There's no change here. Look at this mirror on the wall here. And then you bring this second picture in, and boom, something's distorting the mirror. Nothing else but the mirror. You've got the face up here in the corner, what looks like a brim of a hat here, and then what looks like, that almost could be a firefighter too, because it looks like he's got something on his hat. See it? See the jacket? That wasn't in the first photo. There's a lot more here than you think, Karen.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Here's the negative. Reverse contrast.
I just brightened and enhanced it.
Yeah, there you go. See the shoulder?
There's
See the
your
arm?
fireman.
There's your fireman.
Like you can zoom in and see the shield on the hat.
Right.
But there's something here too. That almost looks like a chest and a nipple. Do you see it?
I couldn't explain it, so I
Well, there-
didn't.
There's a
but
chin.
yeah. What?
Not to say the word nipple.
I
Sorry.
thought the same thing, Scott. I thought it looked like Jesus in the.
Oh yeah, you got Jesus up here.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, there's Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the best part. If you look at the contrasting of everything,
Clear.
the detail is still here. So these areas are distorted. You look at this section of the picture and you'd think that maybe it moved slightly as you took the photo. But then if you did, it would all be that way.
Exactly. That
Right.
is because people were like, "Oh, you moved. That's why it's." And I'm like, "No, because the top of the photo, everything is still completely okay and not blurred in any way."
Now, I believe that you caught something starting to form here, which distorted the mirror. You've got a firefighter here, clearly.
Yeah.
You got Jesus up top.
Jesus.
But I
So
mean,
has
the
been-
distortion, if the movement here directly above the vent's perfectly clear, the trim is perfectly clear. You can see the damn crack in the trim is perfectly clear. Why isn't that distorted if it was caused by your movement?
Right.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's amazing capture.
That one's cool. No doubt about it.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
You can
Yeah.
go wrong with that photo.
And the history of Whiskey Row is almost as bad as Jerome. I mean, you figure all these guys coming out of the mines were heading down. Whiskey Row is to this day party central every night of the week. I mean, I've been to Whiskey Row 3 or 4 times and you literally just bar hop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the oldest working hotels still in the United States is right at the end of Whiskey Row. What is it, St. Michael's?
St. Michael.
Yeah, St.
No,
Michael's.
Oh yeah, St. Michael's.
St. Michael's. And if you've ever gone into St. Michael's, the rooms, it's like they threw a new bed in it, added a bathroom, and painted
like-
the walls.
Yes, exactly correct.
Yeah. I mean, St. Michael's looks almost exactly like it did in the 1800s, early 1900s. And you know what's really freaky? Is that 120-year-old elevator still works to this day.
Right. We've written up on it. The reason that building still looks the way it did is because it was one of the only brick buildings that didn't burn.
It didn't burn. Yep. The original staircase is still in it. Whiskey
Yep.
Row in Prescott is a very haunted location.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt in my mind that you caught something in this picture.
Yeah.
I was excited.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The
I
thing
can't
is-
explain it away, so that is what to me makes it special. I can't explain what's going on.
What really trips me out here is this almost looks like a chest and shoulders.
Mm.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's got to be about 8 to 10 feet in the air, correct? Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're over here. This at one time probably would have been a second story, right? Because they didn't make
Well, I don't know exactly which bar this was, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, I thought there was a balcony or a room.
I believe Tony is correct. I think it was a balcony.
Yeah, it was a balcony.
Is this the one where the girls of the
Yep.
ladies
Yep.
come out onto the balcony?
Definitely populated this bar.
Yes, so this would have been the second floor. You can see the framing here. So
And that
this
very well
would have
could
been
be a
the-
lady because that kind of looks like a ruffled red and white
Yes,
skirt.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It does.
Oh,
It
hanging
has
off the edge.
yes, that's like a breast
Same
line.
with the feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Collar right there. You're right.
Oh yeah.
So the blurred sections of the photo, which there's only about 2, maybe 3. You weren't eating popcorn at the time, were you, Karen?
I was not.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
But even in these clearer photos, you can see the dials on this. You can see the antenna with the tinfoil on it. He must have been watching Channel 3. You can read the Bud Light sign and the rails in this air vent, which wouldn't have been there at the time, y'all. This is new,
Right.
is perfectly clear. So that's not distorted at all. Your distorted images are right in clearly in front of the mirror, which is a trip.
Right.
That's pretty cool. But that is clearly a fireman's hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good call by Tony.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
not. I didn't even think about a fireman's hat. I thought it was a cowboy hat, like just a tall one. And Tony pointed that out, and it totally made sense because you can actually see what appears to be a badge.
Yeah, you know what? And they would have had back then, they had the leather piece in the front that went up
Yeah.
above.
Mhm.
So everybody could see from a distance the medallion going down the street. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That is exactly what I'm seeing here.
That's a great capture.
That's awesome because he's got some see-through areas. If you zoom back in, Chris, you can see the light. Like,
See the collar.
yeah,
Through his arm. Oops, sorry. His arm.
it's fascinating. No doubt about it.
Is that a coat rack or like what is that blue, silvery, with very clear lines? Yeah.
That would have been the design in the mirror, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let's go back to the other photo. Yeah, you can't see it here because
No.
right.
I didn't enhance the other one, so
What would be cool would be to contrast it, would be to enhance this one in comparison to this one. Then the details would really stick out. That would be a good comparison.
That would be. That would be.
Let's
That
have
is
some
way
dill pickles.
That is way cool. I want to show you something that historically accurate here. So back in those days, the firefighters would have had a really thick leather duster type coat. If everybody knows what a duster is, like a cowboy duster. That's what they would have worn back then. And they would actually hose down their interior shirt to make sure it was soaking wet. And then they would hose down the duster on the exterior here because they didn't have fireproofing type jackets like they do today. So that's how they would pretty much protect these guys. And that is almost collar, because they would have had a collar that they could raise up high against their cheekbones. And then their face would have been exposed through this area. But they would have wetted them down, dumped buckets of water on their interior shirts. They would have had a cotton shirt underneath the old woven shirts, right? The old gray woven shirts. And then they wore those dusters on top, and they'd raise their collars up to their jawlines right here. And then they would soak those leathers, and they would only allowed to go into the fire or get it close to the fire for a certain amount of time because that leather would dry off so quickly from the heat.
Yep.
But that is pretty damn close to what those jackets would have looked like, which is really tricky.
Chris, you're just a wealth of information.
we appreciate it.
Yes.
That is pretty cool. Well, I'm a diehard Old West fanatic. You guys can't see my wall here. My whole wall here is nothing but tombstone memorabilia.
Favorite movie.
Pretty cool pictures, Karen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those are way cool. Let me stop sharing this. And Roger's like, when are you gonna show my shit?
Right?
How do you show none of mine?
Those were pretty cool. I love analyzing stuff like that because then you can dig into the history and how it connects, and that's
Yeah.
really cool.
And that's why we brought it. That's why she wanted it.
That is way cool. All right. So the first one we got, Rodger sent in, Clifton Bar. Is that you, Karen?
Right. So I was running my setup that I call Rajcom.
Rajacom.
Rajka.
And while we were just kind of chit-chatting back and forth, I was talking to Karen about what I had heard previously that we couldn't find in the video, unfortunately. And then this is what came through.
All right. Let's take a listen. Here we go.
Is that you? Yeah. Are you hearing that? Did he just say my name? What? Is that you? Yeah. Are you hearing that? Did he just say my name? What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Way cool.
Sure.
Karen, clear.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm seeing a trend with Karen and bars.
And that was Vinnie in the video, too.
Yeah.
That was Vinnie, yeah.
Vinnie was with us.
That's cool. So I'm going to skip to the next one. The next one's Karen. Sorry, Rodger. But I had to skip to this one because it's entitled Breasts.
This is actually Rodger's Rajcom at my house to get to the breasts. So
No, usually save the breast for last, but let's do it.
I'm just wondering how we always get down this rabbit hole of
lol, Todd.
yeah.
Karen is the new Rathman.
Karen, do you have a significant other?
I used to.
Okay, so you're single.
Correct.
Rodger, you're single? I'm not trying to matchmake here, guys.
We are BFFs.
Okay. Because it just sounded funny because I was at Rodger's house and that's how we got breasts.
No,
Here.
he was here.
Oh,
We
okay.
get together periodically and do
Okay, so he was at your house.
Rajcom here.
Bad Ron. I saw him hold his hand. I was like, no.
Chris,
Boys can be friends.
Christoph Allgod.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Plant the seeds.
If nobody's ever noticed, I have no filter whatsoever.
And we
All right.
appreciate that.
Let's
Facebook
get to the
noticed.
breasts.
Facebook noticed.
Facebook noticed. I'm not allowed anymore.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Here's the breasts. Here we go.
Ben, where are you? Do you remember Danny? He's whispering. Yeah.
So she's now hearing it. So let her see if she actually hears.
Okay. So now if you can just listen or you can ask. Her bedroom. The lights flickering. There's something there.
I love that last voice.
Wow.
So
Let me
demanding
give
and
you guys a
demanding.
little bit of
Breast
backstory on that. We were practicing Rajcom, and Rodger set up with that. And my daughter lost a friend to suicide. And the part that you don't see of that, she asked him if he was lighting up the twinkle lights that are in her room. And he said, light them up. And I think he was happy to talk to her. And I think those are great responses. And she felt pretty good about it. So
That's
that's
pretty
kind
cool.
of a neat night.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is way awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So Rodger, explain to us what Rodcom is. What are you using? What type of equipment are you using for that?
I am using similar setup to Staticom. Not exactly, but like I studied all the videos. I've been
More
studying.
specific, because we've got people in the chat. They're going to want to know how the hell you're getting those responses.
Rodger
is a
has
very smart guy.
Rodger has monitored every show we've done and every video we've put out for the last year and a half.
And all I've been there in person.
He's done a lot of work.
The first time when we were at Globe or YMCA. So first time we were setting up the Staticom. You're like, I want to have this. and he's like, oh my gosh, I write everything.
And it wasn't, I mean, I honestly studied the videos. I've studied all the videos. I've studied Tony's. I've studied Ron's. And I was just able to piece stuff together to, like, that Clifton Bar was early Rodcom. The breast one.
was a little bit further along.
Is a lot further along, yeah.
Okay.
But that's awesome. Very smart.
Yeah. You're getting some good responses, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's very cool.
So what is Raj?
Rodger.
Raj. Shortened for Rodger.
Yeah.
Except I spell it for the shortened version, R-A-J.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the Raj is.
Raj.
I thought you were just out investigating with some Indian guy.
Well, what's funny is a buddy of mine named my house the Raj Mahal.
That's awesome.
Then it works. Then it works.
All right.
Yes, Theo, it is.
They do have a slightly creepy tone to them, but they got a tonality to it too.
But there is tone.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like who cares about what the tone is as long as you get a message and they're able to give it like that. That's pretty awesome. I mean, it'd be great to expand on that, but we heard it.
Timing, the relevance, and the intelligence, but when you can get tonality too, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks to these guys. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Don't go away.
What happened?
Okay.
I'm like, we can still see you, dude.
It tried to go to sleep.
Screensaver was kicking on. That's awesome.
No, but it's thanks to these two gentlemen with their work, and
that's cool.
It sparked me, and thank you, TC.
That shows you how amazing Rodger is too, because he figured out this thing in less than a half a show, and we've been doing it for 4 years.
This is actually the second time I've been on here, by the way.
That's right. Yeah, you're wrong with
Vinnie.
That's
right.
Yeah. Yep, I was on with Vinnie.
All right, so now the next one we got Clifton Bar Music Box Gotcha.
So with this one, Vinnie is trying to set up a music box, and he's setting it down, trying to let it calibrate. It won't calibrate. He resets it, sets it down a different direction. It won't calibrate. It'll just keep playing and playing and playing. And he's like, is somebody messing with this? And then we get a response.
All right, here we go. Ooh, that was clear.
Yeah.
It actually says it twice. There's a whispered one, and then there's the louder one.
That's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
No, that's very cool.
And that's
What's
early.
awesome is you see Rodger focusing on the investigation. It looks like Vinnie and Karen are waiting for the bartender to come down.
I was listening to a recording.
Yeah, she was.
Or I was doing Spirit Box.
She was doing Spirit Box while I was running Rodcom.
Oh, okay. So it was just Vinnie waiting for the bartender. All right. So the next one we got, this one's Karen's, Elizabeth EMF. So
this is at Arcadia Ranch.
Okay. Arcadia Ranch, where's that?
Acadia. It's actually in Oracle. It was a
okay.
tuberculosis hospital. It was a sanatorium.
Okay. Here we go.
So we talked a long time ago. Do you remember me? I had my daughter here. If you're there, you go. So you remember how this works. So you have to light it up. Right. That'll be your answers. If you don't have an answer, you don't have to light it up. Are you the same little girl I spoke with before?
Yeah.
Very good. Honey, what is your name? Is your name Elizabeth?
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool. I like the combination of the dual devices.
Yep.
You know, you got the vocal, yes. You got the light up of the K2. And the reason why things are not made out of wood in Arizona is because you see the termite running back and forth.
That's
I don't think. Sorry, go ahead.
that was the termite.
Yeah,
Oh, that's all right.
I don't think you could have set up the EMF detector either.
No, actually, later in the video, I move it over even to the spirit box just to make sure that my lights are on the K2 aren't going off because of that, and it's not. It stayed flat. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
I'm disappointed that Audra missed that one because she loves her K2.
That's kind of why she wanted to put it on.
it was for Audra. You'll have to watch back.
She said she's watching. She's going to be watching.
She said
okay.
she was going to be watching, but it's not on Facebook.
Oh. Well, she
So I
can get
guarantee you, when I go in there after the show, I'm going to say, "Why weren't you watching?" She's like, "Because it wasn't on Facebook."
get used to that.
Yeah. Have to open a
You
YouTube.
never be back on Facebook.
Nope.
Yep.
Not after tonight.
Yes, Scott.
Yes, Pat, we did. Good of you to notice.
Scott is pretty good. Scott's with PPIT. You guys have seen him on the show before.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't met him yet, Scott's about 6'5".
Oh, so he's an inch shorter than me,
Yeah,
or taller than me.
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's an EMT. So
nice.
we like having him on investigations in case somebody goes down.
There you go.
I don't like
That's
doing mouth to mouth unless it's Audra. All right, guys. We don't care. Rajcom 1910 jail.
So I was up at the old 1910 Gila jail with Samantha, who's in the chat hopefully still, and we were just waiting for the guests to show up, and I was like, hey, we'll run this for a little bit. And I wasn't really asking any questions, just kind of let it run, doing its thing, and they decided to talk amongst themselves.
All right. Here we go. Let's play that again.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's a quick one.
It was fast. Yeah, that was an accelerated speech, but it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably a common answer you'd have gotten in a jail as we don't care. Screw you guys.
Well, what's funny is it's right next door to the courthouse,
Mm-hmm.
where I asked a question in the documentary if I could speak with the spirits, and their answer was
No.
No,
No.
you can't.
No.
Who cares?
We don't care. Who cares? And then you get a "we don't care" again.
Consistency, Roger. I love your consistency.
Yes.
thank you.
You're much more mild tempered than I am, Roger. I'd have been, well, then fuck y'all.
All
All right, the next one is Karen. We've got not. And I've got to ask, where are the pictures that you're getting for the videos? Because these places
Internet.
look really familiar.
Tony.
Oh, yeah. This is the night we went over to Tony and Cherie's, and
We were drinking. I apologize.
Roger and I put all the evidence together. They were drunk and talking.
Yeah. If you saw the picture on Facebook, we were laying on the floor as like we were collecting comic books or something.
I can't lead you into this because I don't remember exactly which one this is because of that night.
So listen to it and then you can tell us about it. But I want to know, where did you get the picture of the tree in the first one?
Tony.
Oh, yeah,
Tony had it.
Tony.
Because that looked like the tree from Shawshank Redemption. That didn't look like the tree from Phoenix.
Oh no, it came off the internet.
We Googled the random.
We just Googled.
All right. All right, let's take a look at this one, then we'll talk about it.
Because we can download the pictures.
Illegally downloading.
Oh wait, that's why. Yes, because
Yeah.
Karen didn't have the cable to plug her phone into the computer.
Yes.
My cable was damaged and wouldn't hold the phone. So I'm like, screw it, what do you want? She goes, a tree. So I just Googled tree and whatever came. I'm like, that works.
Tree.
That's awesome. All right, so here's not.
Where should we go to better communicate with you?
2.2.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's good EVP.
So we were actually at a location just before that too. I'm pretty sure you have that one too. I'm not positive. The knot, yeah, it was just not like we weren't doing anything in particular. We were just trying to connect with. There was a certain individual I spoke with before on the baseball field. He passed away. He told me he was very big into baseball, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if that was him or somebody else, but yeah, a little blurb. Yeah.
So since you led into that one, we'll play the next one.
Okay.
Which is fine. And I think I played softball at these parks that you guys got pictures of here. So laughter.
There were actually people at the park, so I would discount that, Scott. The park doesn't close till about 11 p.m. and we were there probably about 9:30ish or so. That could be just background noise.
Yeah.
So question for you, Rodger, was that you reading off the EMF readings of the millimeters?
Yes, sir.
I like that because you're picking up EVPs and you're also reading to see if you're picking up any spikes.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. All right, so here's that other second one. Here we go.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I like to know.
They repeated you.
Yep.
So we were trying to do, what were we doing? Like,
Was
I
that
don't
one
remember.
titled Fine?
What?
Was that one titled Fine?
It could be.
Yeah.
I think I titled them.
You can always tell
I
when
hear
Rathman
that.
titles them. It's one or two words.
Yeah, fine tree.
Not.
Not.
Breasts.
Breasts.
That was that right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were standing, if you're familiar with Park Chris, back near the tunnels, near the high school.
Which park is that?
Golden Eagle.
I know
in
where it's
Fountain Hills.
Yep.
So there's like a tunnel back there, and they say that people did satanic worshiping, stuff like that. It used to be very, very dark, not as in light and dark, like dark energy. It wasn't so bad when we went. Rodger wanted to see it, so I kind of vowed I would never go back there, but Rodger begged me, so I was like, okay. So Vinnie, Rodger, and I went, and he was just reading off readings of what was it, the Mel?
The Mel meter.
Yeah, off the Mel, and I was, trying to get EVPs, and he's like, sorry. And I'm like, no, you're fine. And then that's when we got
repeated it.
Yeah.
And we'll play it here again in a minute, but the area that you guys are talking about is very Native American, indigenous tribes in that area. And that's not too far, Tony, from that house that was on Ghost Adventures and was on another show that you guys almost got into.
That's Scottsdale, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, that one house was Scottsdale, but it's not.
Scottsdale and Fountain Hills cross.
Yeah, I mean they do.
You're right, they do.
Yep.
They do.
It's that whole
Shea
county
Boulevard.
line thing where some of the towns pick up some sections because was
Yeah,
county.
you're right, Chris. You are correct.
But literally, that house was within a mile from where your guys' park is at, and that whole area is very indigenous, Native American, and they've had
That park is very active.
yes,
Very, very active.
So let's play that one again because it repeats exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I like to know.
Very clear.
That is very clear. How sad is it? I know more about the place I used to live in than I do about the place I'm at. 37 years in Arizona, y'all. 37 years.
Jeez.
Yes, I am that old. I know I don't look it. Thank you.
Yeah. I was
You're the youngest one of that. You're the youngest one of the group, Chris.
Yeah, right?
What's
He
that?
is.
You're the youngest one of the group.
I am with the most gray. That's the problem. All right. So the next one, this is a favorite of mine. Vulture City, we know or love them.
Oh. So this is newer RodCom that I've been working on, and this was actually June 1st. So almost, just over 2 weeks ago from.
Oh, wow. This is recent.
Yeah. So we're just running at the overnight that they had out there. It was Damien and Tracy. Tracy's in the chat. Hi, Tracy. And I was just running at one of the tables and fired it up, and there we go.
So Vulture City, another mining town in Arizona, which let everybody that's watching that's on the East Coast, Arizona, if you can't find it in the rock, you're not finding shit.
Nope.
Yeah.
So true.
So here we go. Vulture City.
Say hi to him. You know who that is? Say hi to him. You know who that is?
We know them.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, I heard Tony Rathman.
Can I play that again?
You did.
I don't know that again, but I'm pretty sure I heard Tony Rathman, and then we know them.
Now you got to play it again.
You got
Play it again.
everyone listen carefully.
Turn it up. I'm telling you, it says Tony Rathman before we know them. Here we go.
Say hi to him. You know who that is? Say hi to him. You know who that is?
Oh my God, it does. It does.
So it's the girl saying Tony, and then the dude comes in and he goes,
He goes
Rathman.
Rathman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man part of Rathman drops off, but you can kind of follow it. But the Tony parts.
I will play it again. The female says it really fast. Tony Rathman.
Really?
Funny.
Yes.
Well, there's just play it again because it's there more than once. Then
So the female says Tony, then the male goes Rathman. And then if you hear it a second time, the female says Tony Rathman. Listen.
Okay.
I'm not trying to boost Tony's ego. I heard it. Here we go. Listen close.
Say hi to him. You know who that is? Say hi to him. You know who that is?
It turns into a
and then at the
whisper.
end it goes, Tony
It turns into a
Rathman.
whisper as she says it.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Good
hear
ear,
it.
Felix.
Take that clip, Rodger, and slow it down. The
Okay.
second female voice says Tony Rathman. It
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
it.
I hear it.
Quick.
Yeah.
Is that repeated, Rodger?
Yeah. So I put the raw. I didn't want it to be like influenced by what I had put, and then that way on the second one you could actually see what I thought I heard. So
I'm hearing we know them.
okay.
I don't
Some
know what
people
everybody
said-
else is hearing, but
The love them. I heard we know them, but
Right, Melissa?
like, duh, it's Tony Rathman. Yeah, no kidding. But wait, there's more.
wait, there's more. I have saved the breast for last.
Ah,
So this one is Vulture City, Tony Rathman. Here we go.
I'm so shocked.
Here we go.
Now
Tony
I'm
Rathman.
Yeah.
And it's the girl again.
Hey, Tony, in case you didn't know your name, you want to hear that again?
Yeah, sure. Right. One more time.
Oh yeah.
Cherie's like, I'm sick of hearing this shit. One more time. Here we go.
Start asking for Cherie.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, one more time.
Yeah.
It's in the beginning. As
Yeah.
soon as you start playing it, it says Rathman.
Tony Rathman.
But it's at Rathman right before that.
Right when you start playing it.
Wow. All right.
I guess Yakovetti is just too hard. I'm sorry, Ron.
No, I got it. I've gotten it
I
before.
can't say it. I don't know.
Oh no, we've all been through it, Karen. We've been on investigations multiple times, and I'll ask questions for a half hour, and they still say Tony fucking Rathman. Like, no, Chris fucking Allgood. Hello. No,
I'm here.
Yeah. Freaking TNC. That's funny.
I've gotten Yakovetti a couple times. Once was actually a couple weeks ago at an event. I haven't clipped it for a show yet though, but it has come through.
We've gotten it, Ron. We've gotten it many times.
Yeah.
Is Tony slipping the spirit
so,
money?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, because you know how much they need cash.
Yeah, that's right. And with all the money we make off of this show, Tony can afford it.
Yeah. We always start with the price.
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
We have more racy ones, but I didn't know how much time the show had.
Yeah, I had to cut some back.
He did.
I was
Poor Rodger, I said, dude, I got to cut
I
some
even
of this
tried to
out.
clip them down. I really did.
You got to account for the bullshit of us being stupid in between.
Yeah,
If you guys want, I can show a couple more. I got a couple more in here.
that's up to you guys.
I don't know everyone's bedtime. It's early.
Tony
here.
just looked at the clock. I saw him.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Because it's so late there.
7:30.
7:23.
What are you guys' thoughts on RodgerCon? Like,
It sounds pretty good, Roger. It actually sounds a lot better than the last time I heard you run it. The last time was probably 2-3 months ago or longer. And it sounds like it's got tonality now. It sounds like I've only heard the short clips, but I don't hear a lot of background. It sounds pretty good. I think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
because when I first started messing with just like all of that, it sounded like I was talking to whales. Vinnie will vouch for that.
Don't underestimate the power of whale songs, though. I mean, it can calm moods. It can change the atmosphere.
You could get a job at SeaWorld.
Right.
Aliens. It also has to do with like aliens as well.
Thank you, Todd and Carmela.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. It's definitely got clarity to it. And the noise floor seems to be minimized pretty well. Yeah.
Work in progress, as always, just like Staticom.
Just like everything.
It's cool. The game is changing.
You can ask Ron, Tony, and Cherie and Lourdes if she was here. I've seen these guys progress with DRB to Staticom, and I've seen them banging their heads against the wall and freaking out at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash because the computer crashed and you're trying to get it set up.
Losing your profile all of a sudden. I mean,
I can tell you that these guys haven't released the perfection of Staticom yet because they still haven't perfected it, even though it sounds perfect. And
I don't know. Tony's pretty close with his post the
yeah.
other day. That was pretty amazing.
I mean, both.
When you look at Ron and you look at Tony and you look at Cherie and you look at Lourdes, they don't settle for anything but perfect. And when you're constantly chasing perfect, which is never achievable, you're constantly finding excellence, and these guys are constantly finding it. And every time you think that they've got Staticom to a point where it's phenomenal, they reach another level phenomenal. And you're constantly looking through the thesaurus trying to find out what the next level of phenomenal is, and these guys just keep going up and up and up and up and up.
They've done an amazing job.
Yes, and they're my inspiration for trying to figure out what I call Rajcom. So,
we appreciate it. That was so. This is Tony's prophecy, because like when we brought back Direct Radio Voice in 2019, Lourdes and I had no idea any of the stuff that was going on was going to happen. And when Tony got involved and Cherie got involved, he said, this is going to change how people do spirit communication. This is going to change the game. And he said it before it happened. So it wasn't like he was telling the obvious. It was not obvious to everybody, but to him it was. So, I mean, to have, and kudos to you for successfully figuring out a way to look at the methodology and adapt and adopt it. Yeah. And you may improve it beyond where we are with it. And that's great. But it's cool to see that you took the initiative to do that, because a lot of folks want us to just sell it and just put it out there. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not why we did it. And there's a whole lot involved with Geek Squad and the entire community.
Well, and it's the program itself can be difficult and tricky at times.
Yeah.
But the reason Staticom is where it is today is because of the 4 team members that are on it. All 4.
Yeah.
Ron, Lourdes, myself, and Cherie.
Mm-hmm.
Never a day goes by that we're not thinking, testing, imagining, theorizing what next steps could be, should be, and where we need to focus attention on to continue the advancement of it. And I give credit to every member on the team for, Ron and Lourdes for the last 4 years or more, Cherie and I for the last year and a half,
Yeah.
coming up on 2 maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're
yeah, probably. But Rodger, just what I'm hearing, you had to have put a ton of focus in on our videos. You had to
Patience.
like trying to piece it together, trying to like even see a setting or like a diagram or something to get an idea. Like,
and all the whales we had to listen
all the
to,
whales.
and all the aliens we had to listen to.
But that is the dedication needed in order to get this sort of methodology, whether that be yours, whether that be ours, whether that be any version in between,
right,
functional and usable. And apparently you're getting that. And that I think is fantastic, because without that, we could sell this thing 100,000 times and there may be a handful of people that actually had the passion, dedication, and put in the time to get it to function for them. So I give you credit for that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I give you credit for that. What I can tell you is, from a standpoint, from those of us with abilities like myself and Karen, you guys suck. Because
thanks, Chris.
We used to go to investigations, and we used to say what we were hearing and picking up, and then people go back and do a review and go, "Oh my God, you guys were right." But you guys are getting the fucking answers quicker than we can speak.
Right there.
But it's kind of cool because if you start to use it as a tool, and then you elaborate on that story, that's what's cool about Rajcom, Staticom. That's what's cool about all of it. You can it's just a tool. It's a building block. So
but what I can tell you, the cool part about it, those of us with abilities, is you have made us feel sane.
Yes.
Because we're hearing it at the same time you guys are getting it through Rajcom or Staticom. Of course, it's faster than we can speak, but at the same time, you validated the fact that we don't feel like we're nuts anymore.
But
that's a great point, Chris. But Staticom is another tool in the picture of what occurs on the other side, what theories we believe exist, how we believe things occur. Staticom is just another tool to be able to research and get that information, and it has to have a place within the realm of every other tool, every other person, every other psychic ability that's out there, in order to put the pieces of that picture together.
Yeah, I think what the method does is it has an efficacy that the Ghost Box doesn't. It does give you it to in real time, but it takes out a lot of the things that stir doubt in the process of what you're getting and the validity of what you're getting. So you take that off the table. But we've worked with a lot of mediums. I know Tony Cherie, I believe, have also, and a lot of times it's not at the same time, but the information that comes through, especially like with Rich Michelle doing spirit art, he would draw what he saw and he would put notes around, words that maybe pertain to their job or how they died. And we would get that information through Staticom, and then he would show it to the audience, and someone in the audience would claim the photo, and it would sync up with the information that we got.
Yeah.
At the same event. I mean, so I think mediumship benefits from this, and I think this benefits from mediumship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It is, as TDSI is called, the Digital Seance Initiative, it is the medium. When we use it, it is the medium.
Completely agree.
But that's fantastic that you did what you did and you took steps to figure it out, because that's one of the successes of the Ghost Box for how it works, is that it's convenient and people can buy it,
Right.
Yeah.
So even before like DRV or anything, like I saw the Evox 2.0 at the jail, and I was like, oh, I need to figure this out. And then all of a sudden that was gone. And then it was DRV. And I was like, I need to figure this out. How do I put this together? And it was like, oh, that's gone too.
The one thing Rodger did, though, he has a fully functioning computer that is about this big.
The desktop.
It is unbelievable. It is literally just a little rectangle about this big.
And that's thanks to Vinnie. Thank you, Vinnie.
Some of us need days for that.
And I gotta thank Vinnie for taking What's that?
I just leave them on. I own my. I wouldn't know who the guest was if I didn't have these on.
Right. So, but what I have to do say is, between the combination of Rodger and Karen, I know they were nervous as hell to come on tonight, but you guys are phenomenal, because you hear us talk about paranormal investigators, you hear us talk about paranormal researchers. You guys are the perfect example of paranormal researchers. You're people that go out there, you follow what you see works, and you try and implement it and work with what you can, even though those guys haven't released their shit yet. That you do what you can to move the paranormal field forward, and that is the definition of a paranormal researcher. It's not somebody that stays stale, somebody that keeps moving forward, and you guys are doing that, and that's fantastic.
Well, the other good thing to see is that it's good to see somebody be able to get success
I don't
who
know.
literally was told he can't speak to us.
No, who cares?
But
No.
so it does solidify some of the methodology of the program's ability to be able to do this for anyone when constructed in the manner needed. But that's reassuring, because that was one of the big questions. When can other people try this and get similar results? Apparently, Rodger, you've done that, so that's good to see.
Yeah.
If you remember, and if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I remember, in that clip, which was very funny, he asked if he could speak to the spirits on his own, and so maybe the answer was he can't because he didn't have this.
Yeah, could be.
Right.
Oh, on his own, meaning like if I just speak to you, you wouldn't be able to hear them. So maybe that's what they meant.
That's a good point.
Well, except for the who cares. I'm not sure where that falls.
Whether he had a Rodcom or not, they didn't care if he had a Rodcom. That's what that comes from. But now he does, and apparently it works.
Or you never know. Yeah, Rodger's work validates Staticom validates Karen's work. That's fantastic to you, but it kind of ties into what I was just about to say. Maybe when you ask the question, am I allowed to ask the questions? Maybe you were missing Karen at the time, and they said no. Maybe it's the combination of the two of you that gets the great responses.
I do believe that our energies work very well together.
Yes.
Like when we do investigations, like it's literally like if I'm by myself, it's meh. Though I'm finding out Sam is also having similar ties, like where we bounce things off each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely.
I think you guys know that as a group, it took us a long time to, and Vinnie to find the people who we all worked well together.
Right.
And it really matters who you're with. You need somebody who's going to watch your back, safety, just everything about it. So when you find somebody that you mesh with, it's super cool.
Thank you, Vinnie.
I couldn't agree more, because I mean, you guys heard from our 4-year anniversary that I investigated for 20 years before Audra and I joined Tony and Cherie.
Yeah.
And we did the show for what, a year and a half, 2 years before Ron and Lourdes joined us, and then you get the 6 of us together, and it was just a phenomenal team that produced some of the most phenomenal evidence from a location here in North Carolina that we didn't think we could produce that kind of evidence from. So I think you're absolutely right, Karen. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome, phenomenal show. Thank you guys for the evidence. And here's the good news, y'all. I didn't let Rodger submit all of his evidence, or we would be here for another 45 minutes.
I think I have 10, 12, something like that.
Rodger and Karen have some great stuff. So you will see Rodger and Karen again, even though it took me this long, and it took Tony and Cherie pushing them. Run from the other room. Thank all of you.
Vinnie.
Is that Vinnie? Hey,
Yeah.
Vinnie.
Yeah, Vinnie.
Vinnie's still at the bar waiting for the bartender to show up.
That bar scared the hell out of him, by the way.
Really?
It scared all 3 of us. We actually had a drawer behind the bar pop out, and it was wedged in there.
It was a wooden drawer. It has no tracks,
There's
nothing. It was just
And it just went,
Really?
it was crazy.
That's
We have more.
yep, lots more.
That's awesome. So you guys have not seen the last of Karen or Rodger or Vinnie
Or Vinnie.
Or Vinnie.
the rest of the team that you guys have, because I didn't allow them to do all their evidence tonight, or we'd be going till 2 a.m. Eastern time.
I'm here.
As you can see behind Karen and Rodger, the sun's still up in Arizona.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That thing.
So, shameless plug time, guys. Where can they find you? What do you guys got coming up? What kind of investigations you got going on? Is it with the Rathmans? Because you're going to get his name whether he's there or not, so you might as well bring him.
Well, we're totally going to hang with the Rathmans again because we had a blast the other night.
Oh, it's fun.
We don't do a ton in the summer. We have a lot of private investigations that people can sign up for. I believe most of them are reserved for the summer.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's very, very hot here, and most historical buildings don't have air conditioning. So it makes it kind of rough. But October 19th.
Yeah, October 19th, Paranormal Day.
Paranormal Days.
The Superstition Mountain Museum in Apache Junction.
Oh, wow.
That way it's at least a little cooler, but it's 5 acres of land, and that's actually where Monsieur Tony Rathman did the white noise generator the very first time.
Oh, the sleep machine.
Or the sleep machine, yeah.
And your
That was. And
It's
then I walked out
Go ahead, Tony.
of the building I was doing it in, sat down on a water, like some sort of flipped over, like trough for horses to drink out of. Oh, two rattlesnakes. I got up so fast and ran.
Yeah.
And then they came out from underneath the bucket and went down towards the barn where Rodger was walking up, and one of the guys
Steven.
from Steven
Scared the shit out of me.
Steven grabbed both of them, threw them into a metal
Barrel.
Trash can.
trash can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The joys of the desert.
Funny thing, I was running Rajcom up there, and I was sitting in the barn, and no joke, I was like that close to a
Yeah.
rattlesnake coming in, and I didn't notice it because I got up randomly, and I was like, "Oh, who's outside?" And as I got up, it started rattling, and it already started arching back, and I just slid the chair in between both of us, and I jumped over a bench, and I was out.
At least they let you know they're there. Like, I mean,
See,
at least
for those of you on the East Coast watching, the snakes in Arizona let you know they're there.
Yeah.
Not like the snakes here.
Yeah.
You walk
Also-
up on the sons of bitches and they're right there.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have the Orpheum Theater. We do the flashlight tours there.
Cool.
That's October 20th and October
Write that down.
27th. And
Where were
hopefully
you
we
guys
can,
when I lived in Phoenix?
I mean,
We
you're
were
welcome.
here.
Come on. I said, come on
Come
out.
back.
I love the Orpheum Theater. I
It's
love
very
it.
That is a
cool.
phenomenal place. That is a
My
phenomenal-
pictures are on Google Maps. Check them out. What else we got going on? That's all I know of right now. You can find us on theparanormalgroup.org, which is what we're trying to do is trying to set up a directory for paranormal groups. So that way they can get their name out there. That way it'll give them like all one stop for whoever.
One stop shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without shopping. I mean, if you want to shop, we sell gear. I should say Vinnie sells gear.
Yes.
So it's the Ghost Hunters outlet. And what else? Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Karen's on YouTube. Well, I don't know if you have
And
a
we're
channel.
always here doing Rodger.
Yes, and we're always on this show every Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be here tonight.
I'll be here tonight and waiting until next week.
Basically.
Right? We'll just log in now.
But
All right, guys, we
Thank
want to
you.
thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank Rodger and Karen for the great evidence that you guys showed. Thank you for being on the show. It's about
Thank you,
damn
everyone.
time.
thank you.
Remember, guys, if you want to save the breast for last, and you want to go to a place called Vulture to hear Rathman, there's two things.
Or not.
You got to hang out with Karen. You got to hang out with Rodger. But most of all, guys, you got to stay haunted. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, guys.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?